Red Sox is in to face Hank Aaron of the Braves. Boom, boom. Aaron drives a one-bagger.
Baseball legend Hank Aaron has died. Hammerin' Hank was known as the Home Run King, one of the best players in the history of the game. In the spring of 1974, Aaron broke Babe Ruth's all-time home run record of 714 when he hit his 715th home run. When Aaron retired in 1976, he had 755 lifetime home runs, a record that stood for over 30 years.
Hammering Hank Aaron is the RBI leader of the club. Hank Aaron follows with a scorching liner through the shortstop for a base.
Hank Aaron was raised in the Jim Crow South and had to contend with racism throughout his storied career. While Babe Ruth's playing years were spent exclusively in segregated all-white leagues, Aaron began playing for a so-called Negro League team. He joined the Braves organization in 1952 and spent the majority of his baseball years there. According to the Baseball Hall of Fame, Muhammad Ali once called Hank Aaron the only man I idolize more than myself. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1982. Hank Aaron was 86.
Kal halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Power, whose true name is Yahweh. In the name of His Son, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, not Jesus. In the name of the set-apart Spirit, the Holy Spirit, which in the Hebrew is called the Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, Yasharallah. For those of you not in the know, Hank Aaron was a quote-unquote national as well as cultural treasure in what used to be America's favorite game and pastime. Pretty sure the national pastime now is Netflix and chill, but in any event, I'd say it was definitely Mr. Aaron's notoriety, the fact he represented what it meant to persevere after being racially persecuted because of his ability and success. Breaking the record of Esau's icons comes with a price, That led to him stepping up and trying to influence so-called Negroes, and really Israelites, period, particularly of his generation and those who grew up watching him, and taking the CV-19 vaccine 2 weeks ago. The fact that his passing gained little national attention says to me he didn't die of natural causes, as they allude to. Anybody in the mainstream media, as well as any of the health experts that did come forward to say the vaccine had nothing to do with his demise, have caused skeptics such as myself to respond, how do you know? First of all, there are no coincidences. I say that to say any medical device that hasn't been properly tested to speak to a demographic should automatically be deemed unsafe. And it ain't no secret there have been a number of fatalities, especially in Hank Aaron's age bracket, that should have already caused great concern amongst every nation, not just Yasharallah. And let's not pretend we're unaware of all the reports of side effects suffered in relation to taking the jab. Even the chief medical advisor, Fauci, was laid out for 24 hours from his follow-up dose of the vaccine, and yet the powers that be still maintain it as being safe. Yeah, right. For those of you who understand Yahweh's judgment, right away you can see this was Yahweh's will. For those that don't, I'll humor you for 2.2 seconds by saying, too bad Hank Aaron had to die so your dumbass could finally see why you shouldn't be taking that jab and better not take that chip. This is Psalms chapter 64, verse 2, and it reads, Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. This speaks to the globalists, the technocrats, the international bankers, and the men that really run things from behind the scenes, who are behind this covert effort of pushing the vaccine, which has never undergone clinical trials and reasonable enough testing to be proven safe, never mind effective in combating the CV-19, in the hopes of bringing about their new world order. Insurrection is in reference to Esau and the heathen that rages, pursuant to Psalms 2 and 1. The vain thing they imagine is they, if not along with Yahweh's elect, will rule forever, as well as China suggesting they are next in the world's economic driver's seat. Psalm 64 and 3, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. The sword, the modern day instrument of violence and death, being used for thrusting and striking, is that hypodermic needle along with what's inside the vaccine. The bow speaks to the power they possess to lay their deadly strike, be it the military or the legislation being laid to justify that force to mandate the jab. Like I've said before concerning Esau's bitter words, every interaction with this devil leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. His decrees taste good in your mouth, but by the time they hit the gut and you realize what he really intends for you, if not almost, it ends up being too late. Psalm 64:4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not. Who are the perfect? The Hebrew Israelites, really the elect of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who all of a sudden, after years of ass-kicking, including but not limited to inadequate and insufficient healthcare access, Esau has decided it's in his best interest to help us by distributing the vaccine to us first. Really, their desire is to cull the herd, so to speak, if not sterilize us as it suits their depopulation agenda. They encourage themselves in an evil matter, the commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? The elect men of Israel who teach this 100% truth see you coming a mile away. In the Hebrew, the word encourage here means to seize. They seize this golden opportunity of the so-called pandemic, really the plandemic, the problem part of the Hegelian dialectic that they themselves orchestrated as a way to ensure the total control over the earth, meaning the sheeple who willingly go right along with it, zero questions asked, as well as the 2/3 of Israel who were oblivious to this truth. They gain total control by offering the only solution of take the jab and things will go back to normal. Another precept and to the point, Psalms 55:21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. This speaks directly to the actions, if not the nature, of the Idumean Esau, the species known as Lyrus psychopathicus, sometimes called Hypocritimus erectus. Inside joke. In layman's terms, he says love, but really in his mind is hate. He cries peace, but really his heart, meaning his mind, screams war. He swears up and down that this rollout is his attempt to ensure humanity's survival, but his sword is already drawn. His plans for your demise have already been set. Because we are not ignorant to Satan's devices, I believe Hank Aaron was not only duped, but he was targeted. Yet here you have this gentleman pictured on the left who I don't believe to be Hank Aaron, which in itself is eerie because if it truly isn't him, then this speaks to the intention of Esau's wickedness all along. In any event, here you have this possible look-alike trying to fool Israel into reconciling with Esau after all the wickedness done to so-called blacks and browns by the so-called medical white establishment. No need to make this all long and drawn out, so let's close with this. This is Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10, and it reads, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Meaning, don't trust this devil Esau, his talking heads, and the ventriloquists that control them. Incidentally, Mr. Aaron died at a ripe age of 86. No coincidence that 86, according to the Urban Dictionary anyways, means to remove, get rid of someone or something. They say the term dating back to the days of Prohibition comes from a speakeasy on 86 Bedford Street in Greenwich Village with no fixed address on the door and several exits. When the police showed up, the patrons were set to 86 it, meaning remove themselves immediately. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. For as sure as a bear shits in the woods and doesn't need Charmin, Esau is the man of sin, son of perdition, who is responsible for smallpox, HIV, AIDS, SARS, CV-19, and all the other man-made diseases, bound according to Yahweh's will to show his wickedness. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakodash. Through the power and spirit, I hope you were edified. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach this 100% truth and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and blessings to y'all. Shalom, Yasharallah. Don't take that jab and don't take that chip.